I've done a video on Sunny and Marie's parents. I've done a video with Kel and Hero's parents. I've done the video on Aubrey's parents. But there is one pair of parents who has escaped my grasp. But not any longer. What is up, YouTube? JDC Games here, and today we're back with some more exploring Omori mysteries. So today what we're gonna explore is the great mystery of Basil's parents. Like, who are they? What are they? Where are they? And do they even exist? But anyway, I don't know why I'm so happy. It's gonna get kind of dark. But anyway. So that's what we're gonna do. First things first, we gotta look at what we can find on them, because if you've played through Omori, you know that these dudes are practically non-existent. They're nowhere to be seen. This man Basil is father and motherless because they are nowhere to be found. I mean, you don't even see them in game, and you only hear about them like once or twice. So it's not looking good for them. Where did they go? So in the game, we learned that Basil is pretty much, for the most of his life, has been raised by his grandmother, right? And because they're like too busy traveling, or I don't know, they're going everywhere around the world, I guess, somehow. For like who knows how many years, but anyway, they're busy going off wherever. So he's been raised by his grandma, but then his grandma got sick. So then Polly took over. But even Polly says that she's only seen them like once, and that was probably when they like hired him, which is kind of crazy. Like, they just met her and then hired him right away. Like, who knows if they even got to know her? Like, what if they hired a bad caretaker? I'm not saying Polly is bad, but what if she was a bad one and they wouldn't even know? But anyway, Polly is not bad, right? I'm just saying, what if? Now my question is, where were his parents after the truth, when Basil was at his lowest? Like, why were, like, I don't know, they were, to be fair, they never say if they were or they weren't there. But from the looks of it, it looks like the way Polly makes it seem like they barely even go and visit. So it's most likely that they weren't even there. Like, they were gone and they were not supporting Basil. Like, what are you doing? Please, like, they're not doing. They could have sent him to therapy or something, but he just stayed in his room. And plus, he even got like closed off like Sunny. So they quite clearly didn't care enough to help him. So, well, I can't say they didn't care enough. I don't know these dudes, but you know, they're gone, and they're like always gone. They're like, dude, you could have at least been there to support your child at his lowest point, and they were not. Anyway, the point is that Basil's parents have pretty much been absent from his life for like the majority of it. I think ever since he's been like an infant or something. But they've been absent for most of his life. So the question is, who are they and why are they gone? Why are they gone? Not just why are they? The first obvious theory is that they're traveling a lot for work, which I personally don't know many jobs that like require traveling so often that you barely even go home and see your child and everything. But that is just me. Like, maybe like I don't know. I mean, truck drivers travel a lot. I know that much, but I don't know. I don't know many jobs that they're just like have to travel so much that they can't even go home. But then again, that's just me. I'm just like, I've never had a job like that or looked into getting one. So anyway, and to be fair, I don't really remember if they did say they went to work or not in the game. I mean, they did say they were like gone for like months or like 2 years or something. I think both. I don't know. But anyway, they've been gone for a while, and I don't know if they said in game if they went to work or not. But I'm pretty sure they didn't. But then I remember I did. But I don't know. My memory is weird. But I couldn't find anything. So let's just say they didn't say it in game. Now the problem with this is that I can understand having to travel for work, right? Like, I mean, you need to get some money to support your family, right? But where they were not there when Basil needed them the most. Like, they just ignored him, abandoned him, didn't care for him. They just left him. Like, would work really be that important that you leave your child in his like most, when he's suffering the most? Is work really that much important that you leave him suffering? Like, he's going through so much trauma, and his parents are like, I'm on that grind trying to make some money or something. But Basil is just out here struggling like with the somethings around him and everything, and it is not very fun for him. Like, I mean, to be fair, they could have maybe like come and be like, "Hey, Basil, are you okay?" or something like, I don't know. They could have come to visit because maybe like his grandmother was like, Basil's weird, acting weird or something. But then again, the fact is, even if they did, afterwards they probably left him alone, which is why he was able to close himself off. And I mean, he must have been able to close himself off somehow. Like they must have like neglected him or something for him to be able to close himself off. And to make this worse, I'm pretty sure Basil may have had other like mental health problems before the truth even happened. Like I'm pretty sure he was alone. Like he didn't have any friends or any kind of support other than his grandma before Aubrey met him and introduced him to the group. And a whole bunch of other reasons that I talked about in that video over there. I'm gonna put it over there because why not? But I don't even know you can. There you go, whatever. But anyway, I've talked about all of that before. So yeah, Basil has suffered a lot and his parents seem to ignore or neglect everything about him. And if this is all for work, that's pretty messed up if you're completely abandoning your child for the sake of your job. So I personally think, would they really go that far just for a job? Like I don't think so, but you never know. So the second theory is a bit darker, I'm not gonna lie, but it is a theory. So my second theory is that maybe Basil's parents simply just didn't want him. It's definitely a rough thing, but like considering everything, I mean, it's definitely possible. Like they completely seem to neglect Basil and instead just like spend all this time traveling wherever they're going, even if it's just for work. Like it's still not excusable to just abandon your child and neglect them emotionally, at least. Like they're not ever there for him, it seems like. Now I know I'm just some random dude making a video on the internet that's like very young. Should I say my age? I don't know, I don't care. But anyway, the fact is I'm very young and I'm not a parent, so it's kind of, you can take it with a bit of a grain of salt. But I'm saying, if I had a parent, if I had a parent, I do have parents. If I had theoretically a baby, a child, I would not take care of him like this. Let's just say that I would take better care of him. Like if you're really traveling so much, why not take him with you? Like I mean, I guess it would be hard for them to make friends because they're constantly moving around and everything. But I'm saying though, you could at least take care of him if he's there with you. Or maybe if they don't want to take their Basil with them, they could just like come visit every once in a while, stay for like a bit, like maybe a few weeks or maybe even a few months. Stay with her and support him, and especially when he needs it, like Basil after the truth. I mean, I guess I am assuming that they don't ever visit or stay for a while, but based on what Polly said, like she's only ever met them once in like 2 years or a few months. I don't know which one it is because she said two different things, but anyway, the fact is she's been there for a very long time and only ever seen them once. So the way she makes it seem is that they barely ever visit and they don't stay for long. So with all this being said, it would definitely make sense if they just didn't want them. But this is just focusing on all of their negatives. So what if we give them the benefit of the doubt? The third theory is a big if, but I mean, I guess all of them really are kind of a what if. But what if their parents really just can't see them? Like I don't know, like maybe it's because of work, maybe just some other reason that I don't know. But what if they really just can't see him for now? Now if this is the case, then it kind of puts them in a much better light, because if they really can't see him, they at least gave him a house to live in and he clearly gets food and drink to eat and everything. So they're at least supporting him financially if this is the case. And they most likely put their trust in Basil's grandmother to, like, you know, support him and help him emotionally whenever they need it. And when she got sick, they hired Polly so Polly could take care of Basil. So clearly they do care about Basil in this case, because they would not have done all of this for him if they didn't. The only problem with this really is the fact that his parents can't like really support him or they can't really be there and they can't help him emotionally because they can't see him. I mean, the best they can really do is like talk over the phone, and you know that I don't know, they can't really do much with just talk over the phone. Maybe they could, I don't know. Maybe Basil just doesn't know their phone number, doesn't even know how to use phones. But anyway, the fact is they can't be there for him, and maybe they could like get him a therapist, but See, like, I don't know what year this game takes place, right? I think it was like in the 90s or something. And I wasn't alive in the 90s, so I don't know how therapy was viewed back in the day. Like, I'm pretty sure there was a point where they're like, therapy wasn't as accepted in the world, right? And people were like, you're crazy if you go. And yeah, it was a weird time back in the day, right? People were weird. People still are weird, but not as weird as they were back then, I guess. But anyway, or maybe Basil was just very good at hiding his problems, right? Because personally, speaking from experience, it's kind of an easy thing to do. I'm laughing. I don't know why I'm laughing, but anyway, it's kind of an easy thing to do. You know, just like pretend like everything's really okay, and then like it's not okay in the inside. You're like, no, it's not okay. But I feel like that one meme. Anyway, when you're not really. Anyway, maybe Basil was very good at hiding his problems, right? And then, if he is hiding his problems, then it'd be kind of hard for his parents or his grandma or Polly to actually kind of support him. I mean, we already kind of see his Polly being like, what can I do? Because she's like confused and wants to help him, but he won't accept her help. And yeah, basically, he couldn't be hiding his problems, which is his parents and then everyone around don't really know what to do about it. And he is just causing himself more problems by hiding his problems, which is sounds kind of weird, but it's true. Still, though, it doesn't take away from the fact that Basil is left alone suffering, which seems to be a pretty common theme in all of these theories, which kind of makes sense because Basil is hiding the truth, just like Sunny. So, yeah. But besides that, it seems like Basil's parents could be better than we first anticipated. Like, they seem pretty bad, but hey, they're at least trying to care and support him if this third theory is the correct theory. So, in conclusion, Basil's parents and their absence from their child's life is very mysterious, so much so that they're barely mentioned or even seen in the game. Like, they're not seen at all, unless there might be some art somewhere out there. Like, there's this picture floating around the internet that we don't know if it's actually them. They're just assuming it might be, but we don't actually know, so I'm not gonna say it's official or anything. But anyway, based on my theories, right, they're either terrible parents, they don't want their child, or they do care about them, but they just can't see them. Either way, this is all just theories and speculation that I made that no one should take seriously. So, I think that's it. Personally, though, so you see me, I cannot imagine the parents of this boy to be such terrible people. So, I'm gonna assume it's gonna be the third theory because this man, this little, I don't know. He's not that much younger than me, so I don't know if I could call him a little child. But anyway, this man is like pure, and I can't imagine his parents to be like absolute terrible people that hate him. But you never know. But it's all just a theory.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer?
But anyway, that is all I have for today. So, I don't know. See you guys next time.